Hey Storm fans, Brian Cook here, and we're running the Vintage Showcase today. I made a video on this deck about a week ago. You should check that out. Our main deck is exactly the same because this list has been running hot. The change in the sideboard is we're running 2 copies of Wear Tear, and that's because of the popularity of the GAC deck over the last week or so. They run 4 copies of Deafening Silence, so we want an answer to that. We've shaved the 4th Hercules Recall and the 3rd Fluster Storm. That's all I have to say. We've actually already been paired, so we're going to jump right on in. We're on the draw. This hand's a little bit clunky, so I think we're going to ship this. I don't love this either. We're going to 5. It's a hand of magic cards, technically. Let's do this. An island or a land off the top turn 1 would be very nice. We could turn 1 Narset with force backup. Looks like we might be facing the black GAC deck. Or Bug. And there's Deathrite. Okay, so let's see a blue source. Merchant Scroll is actually okay because we can get Ancestral with this. Undo our mulligan a little bit. A Level here would be backbreaking, or a Collector Roof. I might actually pitch the Narset instead of the PO. This is going to be bad news. Ooh, that resolved somehow. So the reason I pitched the Narset is I'd rather attempt to win rather than, you know, put a Planeswalker in a play that's going to eventually die to a Narset. Or not a Narset, a Deathrite Shaman. Talking's tough. Talking is tough. Triple land. We caught a break and then quickly lost that break. I could flow mana there, but there's no point. Not the best draw. I could have played up Delta there to represent Pyro, I guess. The Leo's pretty good. So our best draw here is probably Black Lotus. I guess I'll take it. Still hoping for Black Lotus. We cannot cast the Citadel off of another. We don't have a 3rd Underground Sea, so yeah. Because our sea got wasted, we can't cast this right now. But what we can do is cycle this PO for 1 on their turn to draw a card. Because like another Mox Opal or a Jet would allow us to cast the Citadel. Alright, so another Wasteland is actually kind of an issue. We only need to bounce 1 artifact because we can only draw 1. And I'm choosing to do the Opal here on purpose. if it gets destroyed by like an assassin's trophy or something, maybe I should have targeted 2 for that reason. Yeah, that was a mistake on my part. Because then if they trophied 1, we'd still draw a card. So that was my bad. But the idea is that if I just did Mox Emerald and then they destroyed it, this is shut off anyway. So I guess we should have done 2. That would have been the right play. It's a trophy. And we don't have another basic. Okay, so if we still had the Opal, we could have cast Citadel there. Because we would have floated a black, bounced all of our stuff, replayed, and then cast the Citadel. It's looking pretty grim at the moment. Alright, we'll go to game 2. This draw didn't end up working out. Our Ancestral Recall, sadly, was just not good enough. Alright, so we're going to bring in Pyroblast, help deal with Leovolds. We want our Dragons. Lavinia's actually pretty weak in this matchup, so I like boarding her out. I know they have Oko, but like this is just good against Force of Vigor. Flusta. And our bolts. So we have 6 cards we need to take out. Hercules is a good one to start with. I end up boarding down on Opals against the Collector Roof decks. Board down on a top. And then probably these 3. I think I want to keep in a preordain. It might be a little bit weird, but like PL's just like a little bit of a clunky card. Could do 2. I think I want to try this. I changed my board plans a lot. Like, this isn't a plan I've tried before. It's just sort of a gut feeling sort of thing. This hand is not a keep. This is probably fine. Old Deathrite. I think I'm just going to pass here. I will say that Preordain is a much better draw than Paradoxical right here. So the reason I'm passing is that I want double counter / bolt backup. So if they play a Collector Roof, I have a way of killing it. Or an Ancestral, whatever. Another death right. Demonic is interesting. So I want the demonic so that I can set up a tinker into Blightsteel, and then have double counter backup. Not too concerned with the Death Rights quite yet, but they can build up over the course of a game, so that's always a little bit scary. Strip Mine was good here. It's a little annoying. It's a collector. Yep, okay. So we're going to draw the island, fetch her a Volk, and then kill that. And if they force, we have Fluster. Spell Pierce. So they're down to one card in hand. The problem that I'm seeing is that we're not doing a whole lot, and these death rates are about to start going into drain you mode. This is pretty good. Alright. So what we want to find on our turn is a land, or I guess another Mox, so that we can Pyroblast, or tinker with Pyroblast backup. This either stops their counter, or stops an Oko from turning Blightsteel into an Elk. But our opponent's taking a little bit to think here. I think their one card might be a Force of Vigor. Or apparently a trophy. They might just be draining. Okay. If I don't draw the land for turn, I'm going to consider it as flopping top. And there's the Oko, so we are no longer getting Blightsteel. Opted to make a food. What is this last card? 2 mana. Trophy. That's really obnoxious. There's the Moxen we need. We just have to last a turn. They're kill this Oko. So we have 2 Moxes on top. We're about to be at 11. I'm just trying to decide if I should. I think I'm going to flop top for the other Mox. I just want to make sure that we can protect this Tinker. Please resolve. And this is why I went for Blightsteel over the Bolat Citadel. Because we would be at 11 if we somehow fizzled from 11, even with the top in play. They get to untap, put us to 7, and now that Citadel is way less good. But also their one card in hand could have been like, what is it called? Assassin's Trophy. And because we flopped our top, you can't cast Fluster. So it's just the safest play. It's pretty interesting to see how aggressive they went after our Mox in that game. Aggressively. I'm going to keep this as is. I don't think Breach is great here, so we could board in like a third PO maybe over Breach. It's just like they have those death rights. And all those decays and stuff. I think Breach is a little bit of a liability. Let's bring back in the Vamp. I think I like that. Vamp gets us Tinka, which is always nice. Gets us an answer to Collector Roof. Come on, Larry. Well, this is quite the hand. Let's just find a Black Lotus. Black Lotus on one? Come on. Let's do this. Alright, so our opponent mulliganed. I think I'm going to start off on Preordain, aside from an absurd draw. Yeah, I'm going to start off on Preordain off the Tundra because I don't want the Volk to get wasted. Okay, so next turn we have Tinker with Fluster Force back up. Okay. Oh, I shouldn't have played a land. That was a mistake. I hope I don't get punished. Oh, and our opponent is conceded. Spared me the effort. All right, 1-0.